Hi and welcome back to the channel. A couple of weeks ago I made a video which was a bit of a sad video really, and that's the imminent demise of my Range Rover Sport L320 due to an accident which I went into in some detail in the last video. So I'm not going to go over that again. If you'd like to see that video, have a look on the playlist. So what I'm going to do is do an update on the insurance, the instigator of the accident and what's happened or hasn't happened with him, and then what's going to happen next in terms of what's happening to the Range Rover, and am I going to have another car. So first of all, the insurance company, and I think due to the amount of accidents around the time I had mine, it's taken just over 2.5 weeks to get some settlement, and I was reasonably surprised at the settlements I managed to get, and it was an offer I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to have an offer of around about £1,500 for the car, taking into account the 650 excess. But we'll come on to that again in a minute. So the upshot is that I sent some more photographs off to the assessor, and they said it was a total loss, and it's going to go to Copart. So on a side note, if anyone's interested in getting hold of this car, go to Copart, Birmingham, and you'll probably see it listed at some point in the near future. So what was the settlement? £4,760, which, as I just said, I was surprised at. So yes, I've got to deduct from that £650 no claim excess, but because I was in an accident and it wasn't my fault, then I can claim that excess back through the Motor Insurance Board, MIB. So I'm going to be starting that over the next day or so. So in terms of the insurance, that was fairly smooth, just a little bit lengthy in terms of getting the settlement, but they were fine, and I've got no qualms really about that. So on to the next step, which is the uninsured driver. No news at all. It looks as though he's going to get away with it, even though the registration number is accurate. Whether it was a pool car or something that people use for criminality, I don't know. And I reported it to the police. You can't phone 999 and report it. That's just for emergencies. So I think it was 101 or 111. And I went through, you can't speak to anyone. You've just got to go through an automated survey online to put down who he was and where it was, and all those types of things. And that's it. They may get back in touch with me. They probably won't, because Pratt's buggered off somewhere, and he's just disappeared into the ether. So I don't think he's going to get prosecuted anytime soon. The only time it seems that an uninsured driver gets prosecuted is if he's caught on camera and it pops up on the number plate recognition on a police car, and then I'll pull them over. But apart from that, it looks as though they're getting away with it. Anyway, I'm not going to waste my time worrying about people like that. I'll just get on with my life. And on to the Range Rover. So yes, onto the Range Rover itself. I was thinking about it this morning, and I've actually owned a Land Rover product since I bought a brand new Freelander, petrol Freelander, back in 2004. Yeah, 2004. And that was a brilliant car, and I thoroughly miss it. But it was end of life, and I traded it in for the car I'm sitting in now, the L320. Now I've had this for 8 years now. Not had a great deal of trouble with it. Just the usual things which I won't go into now because it's not a very long list, but it's the usual things that go wrong with the 3-litre TDV6 engines. But overall it's been really reliable, comfortable, great on a journey. Fuel consumption, but yeah, you can't have everything, can you? So, as I said, the car's going to Copart. Yeah, I'm sad to see it go. But there were a few jobs that were upcoming, which now I won't have to carry out, which again I was looking forward to be quite honest with you. So yeah, that's the Range Rover. Sad to see it go, but there's always something on the horizon, isn't there? And I've been looking at other cars, at least online anyway. I haven't bothered going to look for any until I've got the settlement. And I've been looking at a whole range of cars, pretty much all of them SUVs, and I've gone online through looking at BMWs, Audis, Jaguar, Kia, Mazda, Hyundai, and a load of others. And a lot of them are more equipped, not necessarily BMW and Audi and Jaguar, but certainly the others. They're really well equipped for the price and probably cheaper than a Range Rover. But there's something about a Range Rover, isn't there? And I don't think I'll go to the dark side. 99, 98, 99% sure of that. But I'm going to stay with Land Rover, and it's going to be a Range Rover product. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at the RRS L494, which is the next generation up from the L320. So I've started to look at specs and prices on those. In the same price range, I'm looking at a Range Rover Evoque, 2018 onwards, and I've seen a nice autobiography that's tempting me at the moment. Also, there's a Disco Sport or a Velar, and they've all got the sort of advantages, disadvantages. But again, when you're choosing a car, it's not necessarily thinking with your mind, is it? It's on what feels good, and it's that wow factor almost, if you can say that about a car. But yeah, you can, of course you can, can't you? Especially if you're a car nut. And or another L320. Possible. V8 autobiography. It's certainly tempting, I must say. But then with an older car, you've got more upkeep costs, I suppose, and more maintenance. More things possibly could go wrong. I just don't know. So I've got a budget of around about 24,000 up to. I'm not going to say I'm going to spend all of that, but I want to get something decent. I could get, as I just said, another L320, but a higher spec version, an autobiography or something like that, V8 maybe. But although I'd probably do a lot of the maintenance myself, apart from if I went to Range Rover or Land Rover to get a car from them, which has got a 2-year warranty these days. But if I bought an older car, then I'd more than likely be doing all of the maintenance I can cope with myself. But if you watch any other videos on the channel, then I've already got a Rover P4 in the garage being restored, and I've also got a Lotus Elan 1968 S4, which is also in the process of being restored. So I'm going to spread myself too thin if I go down a certain route, I think. So it's probably going to be a main dealer purchase. Yes, I'm going to spend a bit more, but you should have more peace of mind with the warranties. When I bought this, I bought it from a dealer, and the warranty on paying for it and then reading about this particular warranty, it's not worth the paper it's written on. Trying to get something done, if you have to make a claim, you can just forget it. So anyway, I'm going on to different subjects rather than the poor old Range Rover going and what's going to happen next. So I think I'm going to leave it there, and just to summarise quickly, I'm really sorry to lose this car. We've had some good fun in it. On the whole, it's been reliable. It hasn't been that expensive to run. The car tax and the insurance are the two main things. I mean, this last year has been the most expensive, and that's cost me about, how much is it, about 1,500 quid. So yeah, and then that's before you even start driving the thing. But I wouldn't have done any different, to be honest. I'll cut the video there. Thanks for watching. There is going to be more videos coming up on the new used car, shall we say, and I will do an update in a week or so to let you know whether I've shortlisted or I've gone for a car. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening to me ramble on, and all the best. If you want to look at getting this car back from Copart for spares or whatever, just go and do it. It'd be nice, although it's been a total write-off, then I don't know what category it's going to be, but you might be able to get it cheap and make a bit of money out of it. I just haven't got the heart and the will to do it. But if you do, please let me know how you get on. Again, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.